Cody, you are a great champion. But my friend, I want you to be something that is more than a great champion. I want you to be something that's more than our champion. I want you to be my champion. And when I came back, I talked to Triple H, who's my friend. I talked to Nick Khan, who's my friend. Both of them are your friends. I said, I know it's not in the plan. I know it's supposed to be Cody. Talk to Cody. We're going to have to move him aside because this is best for business. The biggest match ever, The Rock and Roman Reigns. You got to make it happen. And what did you do? You told them that. I ain't doing it. And you stood up to me. And you know what else you did in front of the world? You slapped me. And no one does that and gets away with it. But that's why you are special. And that's why you should be my champion. And that's why I will take you from here to here. I will make sure every dream you have comes true. Every desire comes true. You and generations behind you. Your dad, my dad, right now looking down, the American Dream and the Soul Man. They were friends. You and I are friends. Cody, be my champion. And here's the thing. I don't want you to answer me tonight. I want you to think about it. I want you to go home and talk to your wife. I want you to hold that baby of yours. I'm going to go home. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to hold my babies too. And then I want you to think about it. I will meet you in Toronto, Canada at Elimination Chamber on March 1st. You give me your answer then. Before I leave, and before I leave New Orleans, this has been an amazing night. This has been a hot-ass crowd. Thank you very much. Before I leave, I want you to know this. The one thing that I want more than anything in this world is that.
This championship, my championship, their championship, this is what all of this is about. You want?
No. No. My brother, I don't want that. I want your soul. I'll see you in Toronto on March 1st at Elimination Chamber.
Hold on, this could get ugly here. Eddie and
Ya
Orlando
sé, mi gente.
Colón.
Whoa. Amigo, you got one guitar, so choose it wisely because there's two of us. Me, Orlando por allá.
They're surrounding the TNA World Champ
What's
here.
Henry gonna do? What the hell?
I see two men in the ring looking for a fight. That's why I decided to join TNA tonight. So if you want to walk with me or you believe in Joe Hendry, you're in luck. Well, I have one question for everybody here tonight. Who wants to walk with Elijah?
launching at full sail.
Elijah and Joe Hendry gonna raise some hell.
What a main event still to come tonight. Joe Hendry and Elijah against the Cologne.
In 3, 2, 1, clap.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. We got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how it must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Good wrestling. Fuck that. Good wrestling day. The Professor is back. Welcome back, Professor. Kind of Cotter way here, the way that ODM has set us up here. Oh, I'm excited. I am back. It has been nearly a month that the Professor has been gone, and I'll be honest with you, I have been out of work. I've been out of the podcast. I've been out of hanging out and talking with people a whole month. The thing I missed the most was this fucking podcast. So all the gushy sentiments aside, I'm back, you motherfuckers, and I'm back and ready to go, and I can't wait to talk this week about news results, bring it to the table. We got Wars from 25 years ago with a banger of a Hell in a Cell match at No Way Out 2000 from Triple H and Cactus Jack. And look it, yes, I'm back, but I gotta dip my toes back in. I can't be too full-blown back with when coming back with my voice. It's still, it's still a work in progress to get those vocal cords back to where they need to be. That being said, this week's top topic, I have a feeling this story is going to be fire. It's ODM's story of Woodstock 99. I had no clue this fucking dude was even there, so I'm excited about that. But I did know that he's here too. Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, good to have you back. Guess what, folks, a little inside baseball here. I still get to edit this goddamn show for 2 weeks.
Didn't even break a wrist. Man, you are a sight for sore eyes. But that's because the infection spread from my penis to my face. But anyway, so I got some notes that I took while I was out. And I got some quick notes for you. Would you like to hear the news that you missed first, or would you like to hear the positive notes of what you did on the show?
Oh, no. Let's get the bullshit out of the way. Let's have you run me down.
No, it's really not bad, actually. There was a couple, every time I saw news, I screenshot and put it in a folder, and it said, for my return. And every time I listened to the show, I was like, okay, he covered that. All right, I can get rid of that one. All right. And there were several left that you didn't talk about, and that's okay. A big one that I thought was at an indie show, Patrick Clark, which is former Velveteen Dream, wore a shirt that on the front says guilty by association, and on the back had like 15 to 18 mugshots. And it was mugshots of past wrestlers and everybody like, Roman, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, Scott Hall, Liv Morgan, Brock Lesnar, Jeff Hardy, both Usos, Trump, because he is a
Hall
Hall of Famer, I guess, if you're going to go with that, and Vince McMahon. This is not going to help yourself, dude. It's not helping your scenario.
No, it's not. But I mean, at this point, he's already got this vibe of I'm the outsider. I'm a rebel. So he's apparently going to ride it out. It's an interesting choice, but
you're out of a job in like a year or two.
Yeah, you'll be dead in a year, son.
Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes. Lean on me. Did we even plan it, or did we just happen to just talk about it?
I have no idea. I don't remember what happened.
Dead
yesterday.
in a year, son. Fair East Side. All right. Bear Boulder was fired by AEW for battery by strangulation on his spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And his former tag team partner actually went and said he's there for the spouse. He's actually trying to be there for her. He's like, I'll take care of that bitch for you.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, he was a nothing tag team. It was like a D team show. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
They did maybe one-time shot on Dynamite in like a tag team gauntlet.
Yeah, they're definitely weird. They're like the ones like that where like they were trying to be like Otis, like, thrusting.
I was gonna say it was twin Otises. That's all it was.
Yep.
Christy Hemme and Josh Matthews both are no longer with TNA. Christy Hemme, you'll remember, was a part of the Diva search. I think she won the original search and stayed in WWE for a bit, and then was also in TNA for a very long time as a ring announcer, a commentator. She was a manager to a tag team, Jimmy Rave and Lance Archer, the Rock and Rave Infection, and they came out with Guitar Hero guitars.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And they'd be like, we love you, Cleveland. It was actually fucking awesome. It was hysterical. It was basically them ribbing themselves, and it was great. And this was like 2007, 8. I was a fan of them. Josh Matthews was a part of Tough Enough, and he was like a runner-up, I think the year that Matt Capitelli won. Or not a runner-up, but right within that, like maybe last 3 or 4 or something like that. And he became a ring announcer and a interviewer backstage for WWE, as well as a commentator on ECW. So then went over to TNA and did a lot of commentary. Both are done. I think Christy probably going to be hanging up her boots. I like Josh Matthews in a weird way. I think he's pretty decent on the mic. I think it wouldn't be a bad guy to have for, let's say, WWE Evolve. We see the commercials now. Evolve is going to be showing up. I think he could be your veteran that's running the indie show. Just an idea. One of my favorite moments, I may have mentioned this a long time ago. I said I was going to watch How Much I Talk today, and I haven't shut the fuck up. One of my favorite moments years and years ago, it was on Raw. Josh Matthews was just talking. They had the camera on him. You know how, like, when they're at ringside and you see Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, they're zoomed in and just talking to them?
Right.
Well, during the middle of it, out of fucking nowhere, Josh Matthews just got a nosebleed. And I mean, it was hysterical. Like, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, shit. And I mean, like, it was just, I don't know, boop, just straight red. Anyway, another thing you missed was that Meechin says that Keith Lee is like Martha Washington. She goes home, and he's got a big fat bowl just waiting for her because Keith Lee's a hip husband.
Hip.
Referencing that Meechin said that WWE is allowing them to smoke weed now, which, go back and read any fucking autobiography of any of the wrestlers. Like, even Bret Hart, he's like, yeah, I picked up Owen. We smoked some dirt weed at the hotel before going out to the bar. And I'm like, so, but they're finally realizing, oh, you don't kill your wife on this kind of stuff. It's not like steroids or anything else like the NFL people have to deal with. Anyway, and you said last week, Meechin, you're like, well, now that Meechin's not with the company, Meechin's with the company, motherfucker.
Yeah, I honestly, man, I have no idea what happened there. I there were a lot of releases, and apparently I saw that and ran with it. I have no idea, man.
How mad do you think RVD is? He's like, motherfucker. Only because go back to 2007 when he won the WWE Championship. 2 weeks later, him and Sabu are caught in a car with weed, and he gets fired for it.
Yeah. Well,
or not fired. They stripped him of the WWE title. And I'm like, you could have just suspended him. The Usos were back on TV the next week.
Yeah, they'd have smuggled Jimmy into fucking Canada.
So, now on to some great moments. ODM, your show. Fuck you. How in the hell do you have, while I'm gone, you bring in Lil Jon in the very first show that I'm gone. I'm like, is this guy? I'm like, I introduced you to him. Are you shitting me? And you guys start talking about Clutch. It's good shit. Good shit. Good interview. I can't understand why Wheezy decided to find one of those really old tin garbage cans, put himself inside of it, and speak in there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it was, I didn't have time to fucking scout the location to make sure everything was going to work. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it is what it is.
No, it was fun. That was good, and I loved your sounds. I marked out at the Hector Salamanca bell. That one got me, especially the God damn it, I'll get to you in a minute. And I was like, oh my God, it's like Tuco. The deal is, I eat first. That's the rule. The logo I marked at, you motherfucker. That one from Beer Fest back from 2009.
Oh, I love using it. Yeah, I love using it.
I know you do.
It's great.
I don't know why, but anyway, your commercials. Did we just stumble on a new trend to this show? I mean, the Chappelle one fucking killed me. Pissing on the electric fence, I literally had to stop for a second because I was laughing so hard.
That's what I was hoping would happen.
Good stuff. By the way, I wasn't allowed to talk, but wait until we get to bring it to the table. I had you read my WrestleMania matches last week.
Yeah.
Why I had you do it is because I wanted to get it out in advance. Look, I want to defend one quick thing here. It's the Jacob Fatu Braun Breaker idea. We saw Triple H and The Rock in 1997, and maybe even a couple times in 98. And then in like 2000 is when they have like a huge feud, or right now as we're seeing, right? You know what I mean? Like, you can actually dip in your toe and have one match now early. You don't have to hold it off as one big mega match. I wanted to see that, but now I think they're going to go a different angle as what we're already hearing and seeing from Raw and SmackDown. But that's where I was going to defend that. But my tag match idea, when you go, okay, which is Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre against Seth and Sammy, it was going to work out with the whole everybody not trusting each other with the whole everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I thought it could have worked itself that way, and that Sammy would actually, after getting the fuck beat out of him at a Chamber, would turn on Seth, and you have a crew of Owens, Zayn, and Drew at Mania. That was my idea.
That makes sense.
First, thank you very much for covering New Japan, shit like that. Good for you. I appreciate it. Some of those were actually good matches to watch. I had a lot of fucking time on my hands. I actually watched that pay-per-view. And thankfully, it was really good. And I was like falling asleep. And I was like, Jesus Christ, fine. Zack Sabre Jr. and Goto. And I go, what?
Yeah.
Rookie Goto I was like, okay, all right. I'm glad I watched this. But I died when I think you guys may have been watching, no, it was your Bring It to the Table, you and Wheezy.
Yeah.
And he brought up the Mickey James on TV thing. And he goes, and she was at, like, I don't know, WrestleMania or something, and he goes, Professor right now is freaking out, going, and I fucking lost it. Because I was seriously at that moment, was like, these motherfuckers are getting so much wrong right now, and it's bothering me. And I'm going to tell you one more time, Mickey James was not in a fucking porno, dude.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
All right. Why don't you take over the news for a minute
It's
here?
great. Oh, you want me to do stuff now? All right, I guess I'll get
Sure.
back to it.
You want me to do stuff
The
now?
Rock, no. So you heard in the opening sounds, there was that Rock Cody promo. We'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown in more details. One of the things that Rock announced, though, they were in New Orleans for that Raw. They're going to be in Buffalo next week.
I know.
But WrestleMania 42 is going to be in New Orleans. So that should be pretty cool. So there was a story. There's a lot of stories going out about this. You know, there was talk a while back. There's a picture of Tony Khan with Shane McMahon, and Monet was there as well, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to AEW. He's like, and, you know, I think at that point we kind of like took a step back and said, all right, listen, they're both rich. They're both sons of rich people who own wrestling. Well, he owns a wrestling promotion. They're probably just shooting the shit and seeing if they could work together, right? It doesn't mean anything's going to happen. Apparently information's coming out now that Shane was like, yeah, man, I'd love to come in here, but here's the thing. We got to have equal control, and I want to run it. That's the report. And listen, I got to say, I would have to think that Shane has seen everything over the last 25 to 30 years, maybe more, that has worked and hasn't worked. I think Shane running AEW could make them a legit contender, at least, you know, to a little bit better of a level. But you know,
You're
damn
right.
well Tony ain't going to let that happen.
Shane has seen some highs and lows. One of the biggest lows we watch in the Wars this week.
Yeah.
And if you know what I'm talking about, it was a backstage segment, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I just want to give you a hand for, you know, making that relation.
Fucking hey, that was good. Excellent. So, but I want to say this. Imagine where it would be right now. Right now, we're watching that stupid, crappy NWO version of Death Riders every week. And right now, Cope is he's probably not even the Sting in the scenario of the NWO. He's like the Lex Luger that's coming in for just a minute and kind of maybe looks like he's going to do something, but not really. I still think it's going to be Darby Allin coming back, or maybe Orange Cassidy at some point down the road. Well, no, he lost twice. But
yeah,
either way, just imagine where we would be if Tony did relinquish creative control. That's all you had to do. And it's like, dude, let me ask you a question. Just, did you happen to notice I think it was, if I am not mistaken, this past Nitro, did you happen to see a spot in the crowd where like a fuckload of seats were empty?
Can't say I did.
It was either this week or last week when watching the Wars. I've been still keeping up with it. Where a bunch of seats were empty in one spot. And I go, oh my God, it's AEW now.
It's AEW, man. It's so freaky.
So I'm like, it's just, man, if you just let go of creative control, and it's like, do you think that you're going to somehow turn it around? Like your brain is going to flip things? I mean, look at, you said it yourself, either last week or 2 weeks ago. Toni Storm should have been a fucking 18-month program of her amnesia and all that shit in the turnaround. They did it in 6 weeks. And that's everything. Everything is just dog shit. Just let go of the creative control and maybe you have a chance. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's a big maybe at this point. Somehow they're getting, there's got to be some like hidden details to that contract so I can't see any media company in the year 2025 saying, AEW, that looks like a really viable project.
Well, maybe he'll be getting sued at some point. Segue.
There's the segue. All right. So I saw this. Ryan Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler's brother, who was in AEW, apparently just confirmed he's a little bitch. He is suing AEW and CM Punk.
You are not getting anything out of either, really. I mean, look at Tony's complete control. It's his company. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. Kind of like my company right now. They can keep me or put me in another division right now. They could say, you're going to work in this division or you just don't work here anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what happens. That happens all over the place. And maybe Punk did get in Tony's ear at some point and say, fuck little Nemeth over here, whatever the case is. That's business, man. You can't sue anybody for that. and it's not like it's defamation of character. No one went out and talked shit about you. No one even knew who the fuck you were. Go back and watch Joe Hendry's music video. Here's his accolades. He's Dolph Ziggler's brother. The end.
The end. Yep. Nailed it.
So-
I mean, and here's the thing. You are a little bitch. I didn't get booked and CM Punk was mean to me. I'm going to file a lawsuit.
And especially it's going to have to be 2 separate lawsuits, right? Because one is specifically at Punk, one being Tony.
I think it's
not
one.
like
I
Tony.
think it's one. I think it's one.
Could you imagine that actually has to go to court and Punk has to go with an attorney and Tony's there with an attorney and they're like, well, hey, guy, how are you? Long time no see. I'd give you a hug.
Smile right. Yeah, he'll smile right at him. Yeah, where's my hug? Dude, did you see the video, the compilation of Tony hugging every new wrestler, and it ends with Samoa Joe, and he's like,
away.
we're done? All right, bye. And he leaves, and Tony turns, he's like, ah.
The Okada one is the most cringiest. The way he moves his head like it's
The
a teddy bear
Claudio
rubbing
one.
his head on it.
The
That one
Claudio
too.
one is pretty bad.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's not making money off that.
No, he's not. Well, somebody who is making a name for himself, Ricky Saints. More on that next week. He started talking.
That
about...
was impressive.
Well, I had already recorded and I saw it
Last-minute
happen, and
editing.
I'm like,
Well,
fuck it.
Well, and to give you credit, both you and Wheezy were recording, doing NXT, Wars, everything all at once, right? At the same exact time, so was Busted Open Late Night, and Bully Ray and Taker were watching
Taker.
it live. That's how it happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys all had the same exact shit going on that night. That's pretty funny to me.
And Taker and I have been on the same page a lot lately, but we can talk about that later. So yeah, Ricky Saints was talking about veterans sticking their noses in his creative business. Now, we sure as shit know it wasn't Punk, because Punk was ready to put that motherfucker over. Maybe not with a win, but, So you posed the question. Who was it?
He did with a win. He did. He fucking beat him with a roll-up cheating package to get the Owen Cup. He beat Punk in the finals. He did put him over.
No. Oh, okay. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, well, there
But I'm
you
saying,
go. Yeah.
even so.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. So, now, you said Cope or Y2J. And I said it's got to be Jericho, right? Because if he's not sucking Jericho's dick, then he's dead to him, right? But Cope, I forgot, Starks fucking verbally executed Cope on live TV.
Yeah. Well, actually, and he also did. I just saw another video. He did to Jericho when Jericho had Garcia and
That's the one that it was.
Guevara.
That's
and
the
he
one
goes,
that it was, yeah.
He goes, yo, I mean, I will admit, yeah, you do know how to change. He goes, you have changed with the times. He goes, a couple weeks ago, you were coming out here looking like an air fryer. Now look at you. And I was like, holy shit. The Cope one is where he goes, you're a vanilla midget version of The Rock. And he was like, who? You had me on the edge of my seat on that one, Adam. And I was like, God damn. Like, it was, he rattled 2 veterans. I think it was 2 and 1. I think it was probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, definitely.
And that sucks. I mean, and he came in the middle of the pandemic. He was a part of Team Taz. He was just a challenger. I believe he was in MLW. I think he was doing some stuff over there right before that.
I don't know.
No, sure, but
Yeah,
he
sure.
came in as a challenger for Cody, put on a hell of a match, and we're like, wow, we kind of like this guy. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of, it stood a little to the back, but he gradually got better. I don't even give a fuck. I'm naturally calling him Ricky Saints already, which is awesome.
Fuck yeah. It's funny. There's that meme going around. It was a picture of him signing the contract, Ricky Saints, and then it showed Zoe Stark, and it says Laughs and Starks. That's kind of funny, right?
But it's all right, man. Hey, he's from New Orleans, so that's even better.
Yep, there you go. Well, another thing I mentioned while you were gone was that, this Chad Gable thing is kind of keep having twists and turns in the road, right? It was he was going to go see a master of the dark arts of Lucha Libre, and then they talked about him being in AAA, and then apparently that fell through. Well, TKO purchased the rights to Lucha Underground. So
Yeah.
we could get Penta Chelsea Green again.
It'll never happen. They'll never do.
I know. But man,
Have you actually watched that match?
I've seen the clips of it. I've seen the high spots. Yeah.
The highlights are all you need, really, but it's pretty decent. But, there's going to be a revival off of it from what I'm hearing under WWE. First of all, do not make this WWE NXT, or a WWE ECW. The ECW was just dog shit. But I also wonder if that's the case, if they have the rights to it, I wonder if you can get on Netflix at some point and you're going to be able to watch old school Lucha Underground seasons 1 through 4.
That would be insane.
They have 4 fucking seasons of it. And I mean,
they jam-packed
and a lot of your guys either work there or have worked there. Mm-hmm. Prince Puma was Ricochet. Penta's there now. You got Chelsea, but go through a lot of the people in there. Rey Mysterio did a couple of stints in there. Yeah, John Morrison. So I'm all for this.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you got to think, with Phoenix coming back, you've got 2 guys right there that you could push the whole Lucha Underground thing with, and kind of promote it. So should be great.
Yo, I got one for you.
Yeah.
My mind was absolutely fucking blown recently about something. Did you know Michael Cole's real name is not fucking Michael Cole?
I did not. Not until I saw the notes.
I know, it was on in one of his recent interviews, and he's like, well, yeah, he's like, and my name is Shawn Michael Coulthard, which is Coulthard. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I was today years old to find that out. That's fucked.
Yeah. Did you, was this the interview with Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
No. It was a different one. I think this was maybe with Chris Van Vliet.
Okay. Because the Logan Paul one, they were ripping him on Raw.
Oh, my God, with his shirt.
Do you remember the episode of The Office where Michael puts on that European cut shirt and Kelly's like, it's too tight. It's too tight. It's like that's the shirt he was wearing. He was wearing a European cut shirt, so when he sit down, the space in between the buttons started like bowing out, and you could see his gut. I'm like, damn, I don't even look like that in a shirt like that. Damn.
And I love it. He let, or that he was happy about it, and then B, McAfee got to go like NFL play-by-play with it using circles. I actually will throw a couple of notes in here that I have. I did see that, Fightful Selected reported that women in WWE, as of recent, are unhappy with their TV time. Because if you're watching NXT versus WWE, NXT, half of the show right now is women's wrestling. It's focused on women's wrestling. And if you watch, it's funny because, like, the triple threat match between Penta, Pete, and who the fuck was the other one? Ludwig. That match, 20 minutes, right? And then the Intercontinental title match between Dakota Kai and Lyra was like, 10, 12. And it's like, I get it. I see what they're doing. But I got to be honest, I think that it's also, you were heard because what main event in Raw, and did you watch that fucking main event?
Which main event was it?
The women's tag team title match.
Yes. Yeah, I was watching it with Weezy last night.
The best women's tag team title match. Not that there's so many you could really bank off of.
No, dude.
But I've ever fucking watched. It was really good.
It was solid. Yeah. There was another tag match the other week that we watched that was really good.
Yes.
That was the one where Liv got her face busted open. Yeah. And here's the thing. You shouldn't have been too surprised. We figured, we heard that they were getting a push, Liv and Raquel. They were getting a push. They were probably going to get the tag titles. It's not a surprise. And the reports are Jade Cargill's coming back. They revisited the vignette of her getting injured. So she's going to be back, probably Elimination Chamber or the Raw after. So it's probably going to lead to somebody turning. I hope it's Bianca. Honestly, Bianca's getting stale at this point. Her turning heel might be a good thing.
Well, I thought it was going to be Naomi doing the whole single white female kind of thing, like, or whatever, trying to like get her way in there and trying to be friends, or single Jade out or whatever. That aside, I got to be honest with you. I almost want to do it 2K style. This is how I would do it, man, honestly. You have more than enough right now. You could very well turn... you have fucking Netflix. You already have enough Showtime and everything there that you can do stuff. Why not just have their own show.
Yeah.
I mean,
you should still have your main eventers on the main shows.
Okay, but do they need to be? If they had their own show that you could watch weekly.
Yeah, because I'm not
like
watching
NXT.
that show. And I want to
That's
see
probably
the main
it
eventers.
right there. That's the
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah, that's the
That's
answer,
the answer
bro.
why.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is going to be back in a couple of weeks. They're going to have their next show, which is Mayhem. Their last one was Forged in Excellence, where it was headlined with Konosuke Tateska against Speedball Mike Bailey. I did see whatever his new name is, that new porn name, former Baron Corbin, is going to be there.
Oh God, yeah, whatever.
Man, did you see the video that's making the rounds of Jacob Fatu meeting Lex Luger?
Yeah, kayfabe, pal.
Bro. And it's like, it's funny because someone made a great comment on it. It said, if you want this guy to look like a monster, we need to start hiding these kinds of videos. Because he's picking up the fucking wheelchair and putting it in the back of the car, and he doesn't make it a big thing. He just goes, yeah, it's very nice to meet you, man. I'm actually the son of Fatu. And he goes, yeah, and it's very, very good to meet you too, man. It was just a quick, respectful interaction. I was like, God damn, that's wow.
Yeah, kayfabe's been ruined. It doesn't change my opinion of
No,
it.
it doesn't.
You've got to look at this. You know, the comparison to wrestling has always been it's a soap opera for men, right? That's always been the comparison, right? And that's fine. You're not wrong. But let's start looking at it as, you know, a sports-based presentation. A company tried to do that once, right? Yeah, dude, we get it. This person's not going to murder somebody at ringside in real life, right? We get it. You know, they are playing a part to some extent. You can't hide that shit anymore. So just start looking at it for what it is, and you know, you can just be like, oh yeah, he did that. Okay, fine. You know what I mean?
So does, and you know, speaking of him, I have been hearing that, you know, my original idea, I would have loved to seen him and Braun Breaker. I think it would have tore the fucking house down. Okay, now it looks like we're going to see something different. And it from what I'm hearing is we may be getting to see Jacob Fatu against Solo at WrestleMania. Yeah. That's kind of one of the things that's been talked about. I'm like, I'm in. I'm all for it. You know, and speaking of Bloodline members, here's some really interesting Tonga Loa facts. I'm not sure if you know this. He is only 17 world title wins away from beating both Ric Flair and John Cena's record. He has the same exact main events of WrestleMania as CM Punk, and he has never lost a match that he won.
They don't call him the best color man in the league for nothing, folks.
I saw that the other day, and I was like, I don't know why this is hysterical to me. I'm like, I just want to bring this up. Oh, and he has the same exact amount of Intercontinental Championship reigns as Sheamus.
Oh.
You got contract news here. Go for it.
Yeah, there's a few in here. Well, we'll bring up Carmella. She's about to be out. Her contract expires. It's not going to get renewed. Those of you who don't know, it's Corey Graves' wife. She was with Enzo and Cass when they were in NXT and when they first came up to the main roster. She apparently had something to say where basically, you know, she thanks all her fans, blah, 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 and she can't wait. She'll be on a podcast soon to talk about it. So I'm sure by next week we'll have some updates on what she has to say. I wouldn't. Well, anyway, yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Best thing she ever did was dance party with, or the dance break with R-Truth. It was the best thing she ever did.
Yeah, pretty much. Wasn't she
and that was stupid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't forget, she let James Ellsworth win the women's Money in the Bank.
Oh, there was that. Yep, the dancing was the best.
Yeah. Brock Rechsteiner, if you have not seen the picture, go look it up. That would be the cousin of Braun Breaker. There's a picture of him. He plays college football. He's in his college football uniform with a title belt on, with the Steiner chainmail headdress on, sunglasses, and he's flexing. And he looks like his daddy, Scott Steiner, in that picture. He looks like he's taken all the steroids. He has signed an NIL deal.
He's taking all. Sorry. Oh, it's going to be back.
It's good to be back. So he signed an NIL deal. We'll see how he does. Elijah, formerly known as Elias, has actually ended up signing with TNA and not AEW. That whole picture he posted with the Righteous apparently was nothing. So he's in TNA. You probably heard the opening sound. He aligned with Joe Hendry. They had a little guitar playing action there against the Colognes. I thought that was interesting.
It's funny because it showed the difference with their guitar playing. I forgot what he played, how he, what he used to do. Got a good pop. And it's funny that no one debunked the theory of him with the Righteous, considering that photo that he put out there. Not even Tony Khan, who loves to get on Twitter and argue shit, didn't go, he's actually not supposed to be coming here. I don't know what that's about. Or did he actually entertain a conversation with Tony?
Could be.
But showing up there, that was awesome. And we'll get into that real soon, actually.
All right. So Lance Anoa'i signs with NXT, has a picture taken with HBK. So you're just adding to that bloodline, man. I don't know. It's fucked up because it almost feels like it's The Rock doing it. But, I think that they're just we're going to just this bloodline story's going on for another 5 years.
And it's funny because I just saw there's another brother of, I think, the Usos and Solo or something like that. It's another brother. And the comment I saw was, yo, Rikishi never pulled out.
Ever. Kenta, his mama named him Kenta, I'm going to call him Kenta, no longer went New Japan, and he's back with Noah. He seems like he's been bouncing around lately anyway.
Yeah, he's happy doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he's weirdo. Speedball Mike Bailey set to debut with AEW within the next few weeks. I know there was, initially some thoughts that he might be going to WWE/NXT with their partnership, but AEW for him, so all the best. Good luck with that. Josh Alexander also expected to sign with AEW.
That one bothers me. Would have loved to seen him get into NXT.
Sure. No, it would have been a good spot for him. Definitely.
Imagine just 3 years from now, Josh Alexander and Braun Breaker. The most collegiate wrestling match we'd ever have, ever since something like probably your Angle Benoit matches.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, and on that note, TK's quick sniffs of the week. I've been, trying to keep up with the product, watching a little bit here and there. And on the same note that you made about Toni Storm and her length of storyline, do you remember a couple of weeks ago, Mark Davis made his return? Everybody's like, who?
Yeah.
He made his return and avenged his old partner, Kyle Felcher, and was like, how dare you join the Don Callis family? Ooh, and then he actually just joined the Don Callis family again. So, one little note I thought was pretty funny. Frankie Kazarian actually said that in an interview. One of his main reasons of leaving AEW is his wife was with him backstage. His wife, as everybody knows, is former wrestler Tracy Brooks, which, if you haven't seen her, well, she was backstage, and she said, you need to leave this place. The vibe here, you just need to fucking go. And he goes, she knew. She didn't even work there, and she knew the vibe of AEW was so dog shit that he needed to go back to TNA, where he's working likely for less in front of less.
Mm-hmm.
But probably happier with his life.
Yeah. Says everything you need to say right there.
And he's in the right place because you know what he could be doing? He could be getting himself back over into WWE TV at some point. I mean, he was over there, I think, developmentally at one point, but we're seeing
long time ago
shit load of crossovers as of late. And one of the biggest ones for us is you have Moose interrupted Obafemi at the beginning of NXT the other night.
Bro.
I was like, okay, a match I didn't think I needed to see, but now I really need to see.
Talk about meat madness.
Dude, for real. And the Hardys, later in the night, they accept no quarter catch cruise challenge, and they end up having a match, which was, again, how we record this, kayfabe, last night, folks. So the Hardys were on NXT TV last night. Let that fucking sink in. look, I still loved 2017, their WrestleMania 33 comeback.
Oh, fuck
so
yeah.
great. But they don't need to go to WWE right now and just get lost in the shuffle or in the mix. This is great. These are two pro legends that are going to go work with some real up-and-coming guys. This is awesome for everybody. I love this whole crossover. Sean Spears, again, look at how everybody's doing who were in AEW. Sean Spears had a really good match and defeated Channing Stacks Tatum, Lorenzo, and Lexus King, who is your Heritage Cup champion, got in the face of Moose backstage. And he goes, I would definitely like a shot at that X Division championship. That happened last night as well, by the way. I mean,
There you go.
Neither of those guys were obviously being utilized for dick in AEW, but they're thriving right here. And then, speaking of, Ricky Saints signs his contract, and they didn't let you know his name until they zoomed in on the contract.
Yep.
Which was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's good that they had it in real thick print, because
Bold
I thought we were
print,
going to have to read just his signature, and I was like, oh, fuck. But Ethan Page comes out, gets in his face, and he was taken out quick by Javon Evans, who had just lost to him at Vengeance Day just a couple of days prior. And then Wes Lee comes out and gets in the face of Ricky Saints, and now we have a tag match that happened again last night. Man, there's never a good day for us to record so we could touch base on everything.
No,
you know what I mean?
there's
It sucks. But I'm already happy with where Ricky Saints is. Let him, dip in, get some things going here. Hey, who's to say he's not the leader of this brand new crew of guys that no one's ever heard of?
Who, Ricky Saints?
Ricky Saints being the leader of...
Now, fuck all that.
Why not?
Nah.
He keeps saying, I'm going to be the leader of this revolution, man. They could turn him heel. He could play the heel. If he turned heel, it would be quick and people would be pissed at him.
I'm just not interested in Dollar Store Shield. That's all.
Oh, no. This would be Dollar Store Retribution.
That's saying a lot.
Tons of women's wrestling on this roster. I mean, it was just stacked all night with the popular talent from, everybody that's on there.
I said last week, NXT, I think, is the best women's division in the world.
Totally.
Right now.
I'm watching for the reason of that. I mean, you got, I'll say it right, Julia. You got Roxanne. No, not Roxanne Perez.
She went up.
No, she went up.
Vacour.
Yes. Jordan Grace. Who's the other one I really like that wears a little bit of makeup and has her hair up, and I can't think of her fucking name right now. She's somewhat new recently, too. I'll have to get back to that. But the one part that didn't make it to air that made rounds everywhere was, if you know Booker T's song, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
They did that to Tessa Blanchard, too.
I know. Tessa Blanchard, we coming for you. Jesus Christ. Tell me that's the newest way to call out anybody who's racist from here on out is using Booker T's fucking theme to say we coming for you.
Uncle Bleep, we coming for you. Uncle Bleach, we coming for you.
Which is hysterical considering it all goes back to him saying, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Yeah.
To his song.
Very
That's
meta.
all of it. It's so, it's
Very
everything
meta.
coming around. But you couldn't even hide, what's his name? Booker T couldn't even hide his fucking laugh walking through.
Oh, he was laughing his ass off, yeah.
Oh, God, good shit. So, all right, on Dynamite, Thunder Rosa. Go ahead, please explain this one.
I don't even know the context, the follow-up or whatever. It was Chris Statlander, I think, and somebody else maybe. Thunder Rosa runs to the ring with a chair. She rears up like she's going to hit somebody, and the one chick just stands in front of her and is like, you're not hitting us. And Thunder rears up again like she's going to hit him. Doesn't hit him. Made her look like a bitch.
It was stupid. It was horrible. MJF and Hangnail decided that they were going to try to recreate promo magic like Punk and MJF did. They stood in far corners of the ring to begin with and started having promos, talking shit. No one cares. The crowd didn't really care. They're going to have a match at Revolution. Yay.
Hooray.
So Ricochet apparently stole Prince Nana's jacket. Yo, I couldn't do that a month ago. It would have been like, Here's a funny thing. This shit made me laugh. They were in Phoenix, Arizona that night. He said, Phoenix, Arizona here? This is the poor man's Las Vegas. Now, let me ask you a question, ODM. Where is Double or Nothing genuinely located?
Phoenix, Arizona.
No. It's normally in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah, I got you.
Right.
I got you. All right. Yeah.
This year, it is in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's right. I got it twisted.
Right. But the poor man's Las Vegas. Can we not even afford to get a big arena in Las Vegas anymore? Now we have to do the poor man's Las Vegas. We're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. Good shit.
Bitch of Shay.
Did you hear the new stable? The Ops?
I'm really hoping it's supposed to be mocking Cope.
It's the OPPs. Oh my God, that's it. That's who they are. You down with OPPs? Not me. It's Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata.
Great.
Exactly. For what reason? Anyway, Cope is now hunting down the Death Riders one by one. He gave a concerto to Pac. Someone else actually did a whole video on this the other day. I saw this on TikTok, and it actually made me fucking laugh. And it's real when you listen to this, okay? Listen to the setup. Your reigning and defending international champion is Konosuke fuck me, I almost got there. Konosuke is your international champion. He is set to face Kenny Omega. Or no, I'm sorry. He is set to face Orange Cassidy tonight on Dynamite. And they're already promoting the winner of that match goes on to face Kenny Omega. So what's bigger, the International Championship or Kenny Omega? You know what I mean? Like, they're promoting that Kenny's the big thing. And they're saying, they're like, who's going to face Omega? Is it Orange Cassidy? Is it Konosuke? How about who's going to be the champion? Talk about that first. Now, have we actually ever seen Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy one-on-one?
I don't think so.
He was in one of the world title matches, wasn't he? I think it was like him, Pac, and Kenny Omega. I think they had a
for a
triple
world
threat.
title? That doesn't sound familiar to me, but I've blocked a lot of that shit out, so who knows?
Oh, it was pandemic. Could be. Well, backing up, we've seen Konosuke and Kenny Omega before, but I guess it could be a good match. I guess go for that.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, fair. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Big Bill in a no DQ match. Actually, some really good moves and good spots for two really big, meaty men fighting. And actually, Big Bill went through a barbed wire table and actually was pretty busted open on his back from it, or like in his arms and shit. So it's actually not bad. Look, you got to find a little bit of silver lining. You're like, all right, at least these guys are doing something. I didn't realize this, man. I thought she used to be a wrestler, but Marina Shafir is a full-time valet. That's all she is.
Yeah. She used to be a wrestler. She's terrible.
And what's funny about this, Mox is married to an announcer in the company, yet he walks around with this chick all the time. Make that make sense for me, please.
Start doing coke, you'll understand it.
I don't know if that'll help.
Tucker!
So on TNA Impact on Thursday, so we talked about Elijah came out, but first, while Joe Hendry, before they went live, he went out without his belt and went back and had to come back out to come back out and do his entrance again. I'm not sure if it was meant to be on purpose or not, but either way, comes out. And then the Colognes come out, who I haven't seen in a long time. And they used to be Primo and Epico. Mm-hmm. And they are now, by real names, Eddie and Orlando. And what did I just do right there? I mansplained, apparently, because I was telling you all this, and you just said, did you mansplain to me who the Colognes are? And I said, look, motherfucker, you weren't watching. You weren't watching back then.
I was watching when the Colognes were on WWE TV. They were on.
Oh, okay.
Remember they feuded with the Fashion Police.
Oh, that's true. But I did give you the Buzz McAllister answer.
Yeah.
A, 2, and D. Obafemi came out in response because Moose and the System were beating down the Hardys, and Santino announced a 6-man tag for the Hardys and the System and Moose and Obafemi for what will be now tomorrow night on TNA Impact. Things are heating up, man. Just back and forth. People, I like this. It's getting traction. It's getting at least... headlines, right? We're talking about it. I mean, how often were we talking? I put TNA Impact notes in here. Let's just say that, okay?
Exactly. It's becoming more relevant than fucking AEW at this point. We might be talking. If things keep going the way they are, we're going to be talking more about TNA than we are about AEW.
Totally fine with it. And Santino went old school and started doing some of his old fucking around and saying people's names, like the Honky the Tonka Man, Roddy the Piper. Well, was it Makita Lions with an M?
Yeah.
Oh God, there were some really good ones, but he was really good. I'm glad to see him back, dude. As soon as he showed up on Vengeance Day backstage on that pay-per-view or whatever you want to call it, crowd lost their shit. And with a full beard, right? Didn't look like that back in the day when he was in WWE TV, but he's still got that touch. I was always a big fan of him. I would say I said to you, give me an R-Truth and Santino Marella segment just once. Maybe like R-Truth shows up there and be like on TNA, like he shows up on TNA Impact. So I'm like, this ain't NXT, dog. I'm all for it. SmackDown, The Rock wants Cody's soul. That's it. I'm not even going to bother saying what I really think about it.
I get it. It's weird because I feel like they're really scrambling to make the most out of The Rock's waffling. Comes back, yeah. I'm a face, and then the conference for WrestleMania, I'm a heel, and then I'm a face, I'm a heel.
Well, it's Dwayne Johnson,
and it's like, man, I almost wonder if him giving him now I'm wondering him getting that belt for himself. Was that him? Was that just his vanity, or was that him trying to a prop to help him get this heel character over? I don't know. I kind of like first of all, the promo was way too goddamn long. It wasn't a very good promo. I am intrigued about this whole I want you to be my corporate champion because if you think about it, if we get Punk and Cody, what if Punk turns and becomes Rock's corporate champion?
I was going to say 100%, and you could go the same thing you did with Austin turning on Rock at WrestleMania 17 with Vince, except people will probably cheer for this.
Probably.
Could you imagine Punk coming out in a fucking suit weekly?
Yeah.
The guy who never wears a suit?
Mm-hmm.
I could get down with this. I could actually get down with it, to be honest with you. Nia Jax hit absolutely one of the worst bonsai drops I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and fucking, what's her name? Trish Stratus is probably washing her face for the next week or two.
Queasy's like, I want to be trash.
Imagine that giant camel toe coming down at you. Dude, that's the thing. Like, she missed.
Herd of camels.
Like, she used to be the worst, like, where she would almost kill people. Like, she would legit land on them. And then they told her to ease up, and now this one, she didn't even make contact at first. Like, she dropped, her feet hit the mat, but she made no contact with her ass, and then she had to lower it so she was actually touching them. And then she just got up. It was fucking awful.
There is a thing as too safe. It was nippy time. Did you happen to see that? Not tippy time, but it was nippy time? Yeah. God bless the internet.
That's a titty.
I love it. That's a fully, man. On Raw, Kaiser defeated Pete Dunne and Penta in a really good triple threat match.
That was a good match.
As we said, Liv and Raquel. Oh, dude, he's doing great there. It's funny because he did a match on Main Event, and people are like, "Oh, he's already downgraded." Fuck off, man. Everybody does matches everywhere. Liv and Raquel are now the most reigning 3-time tag team champions for women's, and again, really, really good match. Logan Paul and CM Punk's promo in the beginning was really good. I'm with Punk. I'm just hoping within a year or two, Paul's just gone and nobody remembers him. I mean, I don't know. Like his one interview that he did, he's like, I was already famous. I already had money. I'm here because I want to do this. I'm like, fuck you.
You're here because you're a rich kid and you're entitled and you get everything handed to you. So shut the fuck up.
Hope he breaks his neck in the chamber. But he did slap Punk pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
I did like the Cody and Seth promo because it's a great follow up to last year. Everything I teamed with you to go against this motherfucker, and now you're actually thinking about giving him your soul. And we all know Cody's not going to do it. He's the John Cena here, right? There's no way it's happening. Austin Theory in the Yeet backstage, I laughed at.
That was fucking hilarious.
Because especially how he did the whole, it's one word, 4 letters, and then he does the hands like that, and Theory was all jacked up. He goes, yeet!
Yep.
I'm not sure. Will the Judgment Day add a new member or not? They keep talking about it, and if so, it's like, who? And I'm not sure if they, I don't know. Not really
it's a
sure
tough
who
one,
who
man.
it could be. However, now, at one point, after Breakker defeated Dominic Mysterio, Baylor had a little face-off with Breakker, which Styles did last week with Breakker, which, by the way, catching the shirt was one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. It was almost as good as when Mr. Perfect threw his towel behind his back and it landed on Mr. Hughes' shoulder. But could we get Styles, Baylor, Breakker at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship?
That might not be bad. I was kind of looking for Styles versus Balor, but yeah.
But it mixes
triple threat
everyone.
might not be bad because you could do 2-on-1 and then they could also face off against each other.
You do exactly what happened. I just rewatched it. McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther. You get Gunther out of the way for a while. Drew and Sheamus had a 1-on-1. So you have the Bullet Club 1-on-1 for about a good 10 minutes after you take Breakker out. Then he comes in, wrecks the fuck out of everybody, and leaves.
Yeah.
Saturday is the Elimination Chamber. It's at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock my time here in California. And, this is the first pay-per-view or PLE play with no title matches since Survivor Series 2021.
Holy shit.
And the only reason is the Survivor Series is usually a match or a night where it's either champion versus champion or it was, team versus team. That's why. So I can't believe there's no titles on the line, but okay. Let's go backwards.
It is
here.
surprising.
They're going to sprinkle this match somewhere in there. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton will be defeating Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think that Charlotte will probably be there or get involved somehow because she's the one facing Tiffany.
That's what I would think, yeah.
I actually would have rather seen Charlotte and Trish again. They did it in Toronto years ago. Do it again. I would have rather seen that this time.
Yeah.
Rock is going to be confronting Cody. We'll see what happens there. The women's chamber match. You got the winner is facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41. You got either Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Alexa Bliss, Imone, and Roxanne Perez. I said I wanted Bayley versus Rhea Ripley. Okay? A heel Bianca Belair versus Rhea could be okay. I think athleticism-wise, I think Rhea and Bianca could be pretty good. I'd like Bayley in her, but that's just two faces. So I actually am going to side with you. I think Bianca Belair takes Chamber this week.
Yeah. I think there's got to be a heel turn in there somewhere. It'll make it all make more sense, and that would be a killer match.
Take out Naomi in this.
I mean, Naomi could turn heel too, and she could be the shock winner. Who the fuck knows?
That's who
there's a lot
I mean.
going on. I don't see Alexa Bliss just got back. It's too soon. Bailey could be good, but like you said, it's two faces. Liv Morgan, we've seen that movie, and Roxanne Perez. I understand they're trying to push her to the moon, but do you really need to put her in a match with Rhea right away?
No, you'll just have her get crushed. It's funny because on Raw next week in Buffalo, they're doing Rhea and Io Sky. Mm-hmm. I'd actually rather see that match at WrestleMania. I think that would have been a bomb match, but
I see that match every night in my dreams. Did I say that part out loud?
You and your girlfriend, Angelica. Anyway,
Boo!
I'm back, folks. The unsanctioned match, which I kind of hope closes the show. As much as I want to see the chamber match close the show, I kind of want to see this one do it. But if they don't, that's okay. Because, I mean, they did Triple H and Shawn Michaels before Brock Lesnar won the title from The Rock at SummerSlam 2002, and it was unsanctioned, so it could happen. So I'm okay with that. I feel it's just going to be a no contest.
I want them to just do move for move the first match they had at Ring of Honor.
Oh my God, I was dying from that episode. This match sucks. This is so slow. Whoa! All right, I take back everything I said. I was sitting there listening. I'm like, these motherfuckers are seriously bashing Kevin Steen and El Generico, and Ole. I don't get it. Why? He's a white guy. Oh my God, you guys are. This is all falling flat on you, fucks. The whole reason for that.
I brought it up.
I
said I defended it. Yeah, I said he's a half Syrian white, half Montreal Quebecer, fucking playing a fucking Mexican luchador. There's an Ole in there somewhere.
There's an Ole in there somewhere. That shit made me laugh. So men's chamber match. Winners taking on Cody. Punk, Cena, Priest, Rollins, McIntyre, Logan. It ain't Logan. It ain't McIntyre, unfortunately. I don't see Cody and Rollins. It's definitely not Cody Priest. So it's either Cena or Punk. That's your two winners. I think the safe bet is going to be Cena. Maybe. But I am pulling. Not just because I'm growing my hair out. Not because I'm a Punk guy. But because it would not only be the fuck you to AEW, okay? But it would even more so to me, there's so many tangibles. The promos, Punk can play that edgy, I'm a face, but I'm also a heel, right? It's right in the middle. And then with The Rock and everything leading up, the promos, all I kept saying to myself is, I'm glad that Rock said it doesn't have to go to a match, because I go, he's going to do it again. He's going to fuck over Punk. Oh my God. I'm like, it's WrestleMania 28 and 9 again, motherfucker. I could be okay with, man, I don't even give a fuck if it was Punk versus Rhodes and Rock was the special ref. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying I want it to be Punk.
To me, it's the most logical way to go.
Gotta be.
Not only because, listen, from a Mark perspective, yes, it's cool to say, "Ha, AEW, look how you fucked this all up." But I think the story's there. There's so many. Listen, watching Raw last night, or 2 days ago, sorry, kayfabe, pal, and just discussing what we've discussed for the last several months, there is so much overlap in the main event. There are so many things that could happen. It's exciting because as much as we're going to sit here and talk about, well, they could do this. Oh, well, this would be cool. Don't do this because this is stupid. It's keeping you on the edge of your seat because you have no fucking clue what's going to happen here.
Yeah. There's a lot of options. And it's funny because it had me that excited for the Royal Rumble, and it's having me that excited for Elimination Chamber. So they're doing a good job. They're keeping me intrigued. And speaking of the Rumble, my dude, I got a story for you. Let's go to the fucking table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
Shout out to RV Talk with Wheezy. Hashtag not a sponsor. I'm going to make it a quick version of this story, okay? But this is...
I know most of the story already.
No. I don't think you do.
Oh, all right. Well, lay it on me.
It's Royal Rumble Day. Okay, hang on, let me back up. I had my surgery on Tuesday, the Tuesday before the Rumble. And later that week, our fridge dies. I go, motherfucker. So we're living in like coolers and shit for a couple of days trying to figure shit out. We end up finding a fridge that's not an RV fridge. It's a regular house fridge. To get an RV fridge would have cost way more, this, that, and we were like, we're on the road for a couple months. Let's just get something that's going to get us by. Getting the one that's inside was going to be the motherfucker. That was going to be the one getting it out because, as Wheezy said, little doors, big ass fridge. They really do build around. They make the fucking house and then put the goddamn out. Like it's like like a Fisher Price putting together thing. Like, and now you put the hood on top of everything here. So I can't talk. Everything we're doing is fucking charades, okay? And it can be a little annoying. I had the Hector Salamanca bell. I had a fucking whiteboard. It was a lot. I had the robot voice, which was fun for a little bit until she had to sit there for 10 minutes to watch me type everything I wanted to fucking say. L.O. Hillary, you are wrong. But we're taking out the old fridge. We're working on it. We get everything moving. I have the WrestleMania pre-show, or I'm sorry, I have the Royal Rumble pre-show going in the background. My goal is, I think, what time did the Rumble start for you? 6?
I have no fucking clue. I think
that's right. You weren't live that night.
A little late. Yeah.
So, I think it was 6 that night or something like that. 4 or 5, 6 like that in New York. Whatever it was. Here, it was like 15 minutes into the pre-show. I go, I got 2 fucking hours. I'm getting this bitch out the fucking house. Can't talk, but I can do this. We're maneuvering, working on everything. And the one back end, the whole back end to the fridge, one part was rusted, and it broke just ever so slightly. Ammonia gas filled my entire RV. And when I say filled, it looked like a fucking smoke bomb went off in the RV. Now, luckily, Hillary and the dog were right at the front. She fucking just grabs her by the neck and just went running out the door. And I ducked down and I went running too. If you guys don't know what ammonia feels like, smells like, or whatever, bleach your tub and then get your eyeballs as close as possible to it. You know what I mean?
Like
it's that.
No buenos. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm trying to say to do. Which is why the fridge probably died. Which is funny because the smell I smelled a couple days before, I thought I smelled something chemically, and I go, God damn it, it was the ammonia I was smelling at that time. Again, but I couldn't fucking talk. Who was I going to tell it to? So, anyway, the fucking thing had rusted, broke, and we went to... I had to just let the gas just fucking go. Because once it's going, it is going. So we're outside. Oh, motherfucker, it's pouring rain. Oh, motherfucker, I can't talk. This is, I'm not lying. This is like hell. We get in the car. But now it's like, she's like, I need my fucking purse. Because now we're like, we need to get something. We had to go get some fans. We got to go get a purifier. We got to go everything. We got to clean the fucking thing out of this. You know, like get all the gas, everything out. Bought 3 big fucking industrial fans and a fucking $200 like air purifier. And opened every window, had the fans open, everything. It was 35 fucking degrees out that day, by the way. Heads up. Didn't get to say that with that rain. We can't stay in here. We can't fucking stay in here tonight. I didn't watch the Rumble until long after it ended, but we watched it in a hotel that night because I had to let the fans and everything run in here for over 24 hours just to clean everything. And then when we got back in, we had to clean, bleach wipe, everything head to toe. And I mean, like, seriously, ceiling to floor.
Yeah.
All the couch, all the bedding, everything had to be washed. I did like $60 worth of fucking laundry that day. Bro. Like, when I listened to you guys talk about it, he's like, yeah, he had trouble getting out the door. I'm like, it's not even the half of it. And I didn't want to tell you guys during the middle. I'm like, well, So ammonia leaked out. We nearly fucking died. We're in a hotel. How's Rumble going for you guys? No spoilers, please.
Jesus.
It was rough. And again, couldn't talk. So I'm like, you go this way. Motherfucker. And all I wanted to do was be like, we need to get the fuck out of this motherfucker.
Briggs!
So that was it. All right, man. That was, that's all I got. What do you got for the table?
I was going to say it's nowhere near as exciting as yours. I just want to say I have a confession to make. We've been talking about this whole Toni Storm gimmick and how it's been playing out and went way too short. I'm going to say I gotta say the more I hear her do the promos, the more I do like it. I do like Toni Storm. I think she's excellent.
Timeless.
At first I didn't really care for the whole like exaggerated over the top voice, like some vaudevillian movie star.
Right.
But I saw the last episode. She's like, so I went back home to Australia, met up with Shirakawa. We had drinks, we had food. It was excellent. I gotta say, I am digging it more and more. Yeah, Toni Storm is fucking fantastic. I really wish they would have given this time to breathe. Like you said, 18 months, a year and a half of just gradual progression. You know, this could have been really something special, and you fucking burned it. I mean, thank God she's making the most of it. But, yeah, I'm enjoying her little vignettes. I might have to watch those as they come out now.
Yeah, they're worth seeing. And always watch for the shoe, man. Keep those tits out.
Yeah, keep the tits out.
You know what, man? For one more week, I think I need you to do it for me, man. Please. I like hearing you do it. Just one last time. Do the watch-along for the Wars.
Fine.
Monday Night Wars!
What was your name again?
Ricky Rappin, you know my name, Disco.
Okay, Ricky, I can understand me being here, and I can understand the Nitro Girls being here, but what the hell are you doing here, and why, for the love of me, is 3 Count here?
You just don't get it. It's obvious why 3 Count's here, because when 3 Count shows up anywhere, tons of chicks follow. Chicks dig 3 Count. What? And whenever there's tons of chicks anywhere, then guys show up. So basically, there's a lot of people every city we go to for spring breakout because 3 Count's there, because they bring all the chicks.
Are you trying to tell me that I can't bring out chicks?
Compared to 3 Count, nobody gets more girls than 3 Count. Come on.
Hold on a second. Look at those girls. Look at those girls. Those girls don't look like they're from Brooklyn.
I've seen the type of girls you get in the girls from Brooklyn.
She looks like she's from Brooklyn.
No, she is definitely not a Brooklyn type. Thank God.
I'll tell you what, these 3 Count guys are embarrassing themselves. I'm going to go teach them how to dance.
You just don't get it.
Excuse me. Come on, May. May, when was the last time you had your period?
About 1957.
57. Mr. Henry?
Would you please take that thing out of your mouth? Please behave.
Are you sure you're impregnated?
Bear down, May. You can have that baby. You gotta have it. You understand? You gotta have the baby.
Go on, Doc.
Come on, May. You're doing fine. Push, bear down. Push hard. Push.
Get behind me!
Well, I thought it was going to be back to what we call the norm around here, but, you know, Professor still broken-throated, even though he's doing better. We're going to have to ease him back in, so another week of me and my live reactions to the Monday Night Wars. We're going to start with No Way Out 2000. We're in Hartford. Opens up with Kurt Angle facing Chris Jericho for the IC title. Says he's going to win and become the Euro Continental Champion. If you've forgotten, he has the European title currently. See a sign that says Best Buy sucks. Remember Best Buy? Remember that? China comes out before Jericho with her pyro cannon. Not a euphemism. Another I'd rather be in China sign. Seen about a dozen of those over the course of the wars. Angle gets frustrated with a 2 count, so he gets the IC title. Ref stops him from using it. Allows Jericho to get the walls on. Angle gets to the ropes, though. On the floor, Jericho shoves Angle, but he lands right in China, who takes a bump against the stairs. Hilarious, because she's supposed to be like the seventh wonder of the world, tough as nails, and she takes a tiny little bump in the stairs, and she has to sell. Jericho and Angle end up back in the ring where the title is still laying there. Angle uses it while the ref isn't looking, and he gets a 3 count, and Kurt Angle is the Euro Continental Champion. Sometimes you look at a match on paper, and you're like, holy shit, Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho from 2000, that's got to be a banger. No, I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't anything fancy, especially for a show opener. But I guess they can't all be winners. And Hebner and Tim White are arguing about what happened. Chyna's pleading the case as well. Cole is with the Dudleys, and Bubba's got the 1,000-yard stare. They're facing the Outlaws tonight for the tag titles. Bubba uses a lead pipe on Mr. Ass on the floor while the ref isn't looking. Then we get a ref bump. Dudley's hit a 3D, but Teddy comes to and counts 3. Dudley's win the tag titles. Again, rather unceremoniously, but it really is the beginning of the tag team revolution for WWF at this time. So looking forward to what's coming up. Outlaws argue after. See Kurt Angle celebrating with the fans in the concourse of the arena. Next, it's Mark Henry versus Viscera, because Viscera splashed the pregnant Mae Young on this previous Raw. Next slide, if there ever was one. Then Mae Young shows up to check on Mark, tells Viscera, hey, chill back, give me some room here. Viscera naturally grabs her by the throat, shoves her to the ground, and sets up for the splash. Just as Henry comes to, Henry's able to cut him off with a lariat or a shoulder block, and Mark Henry wins. Jericho cuts a promo backstage with Lillian Garcia. Then the medics are tending to Mr. Ass, checking out his shoulder where he got hit with the lead pipe. And they should get the Hardys with Tori. They show earlier on Heat, Tori recruited the APA for their services. And it's the Hardys versus Edge and Christian. Apparently the APA is there to make sure that no interference is run. Yeah, I said Tori earlier. I meant Terry. But anyway, Terry turns on the Hardys, shoving Jeff right off the apron, then slaps Matt. That allows Christian to hit the unprettier. Edge and Christian win. Hey, so now Terry is with Edge and Christian now. And even Edge and Christian seem surprised. Solid match, as always, between these guys, They really gave this one time to breathe. They didn't rush this match. And then post-match, Matt grabs Terry by the hair, and the APA beat the crap out of the Hardys. As King said, she paid for protection, and she got it. Oh, Jesus. Fucking Farouk dropped Jeff Hardy right on his head. Cole's with Edge and Christian, calling it a tainted victory. Should I say Cope and Christian? Big Show's with Lillian Garcia. He's facing The Rock later. #1 contender match for the world title. Big Show wants to show the footage from Rumble. And Rock's feet did hit. And he wants it shown again to zoom in on it and slow-mo. It's funny they zoom in, you can't see his feet. Next is Big Boss Man versus Taz. Next slide. And Prince Albert interferes immediately, and it's a DQ. Albert and Boss Man beat the crap out of him. Post-match, Boss Man breaks the nightstick over the head of Taz. Even Boss Man seems surprised by that. This beatdown lasted about 5 minutes too long. Back to Kurt Angle. He's in the crowd celebrating more, with a megaphone this time. Next, we're getting Kane versus X-Pac in a no-holds-barred match. They run a hype package for it, just kind of going back to when Kane and X-Pac were a tag team, and the breakup, X-Pac rejoining DX. On SmackDown, X-Pac had a pyro cannon of his own and shot it at Kane's face. Paul Bearer starts attacking X-Pac on the floor, and then Tori slaps Paul Bearer. We get to see Paul Bearer chase Tori. Just to see Paul Bearer, what you call run, is hilarious. At one point, Tori jumps on Kane's back. He's able to flip her over, sets up for a tombstone, and hits it. JR says, "Tombstone Tori, Volume 2!" And then X-Pac ends up laying the aluminum or metal ring steps on top of Kane, using that to get the pin. Weird, but okay. Got a sign that says legalized scalping. I really hope he's talking about tickets. Cole's with the Radicals. Radicals minus Eddie are taking on Too Cool and Rikishi. Can we say next slide on this one? Eddie gets asked if he's going to be there for moral support, and he pulls out a piece of giant rebar out of his sling. Says, yeah, you can call it that. And Too Cool and Rikishi win, because why would you want your new stable that you just got from WCW, who's over as hell, to win? On their pay-per-view debut, no less. Kurt Angle's in the lobby now celebrating with the fans. Next, it's The Big Show versus The Rock for the #1 contendership for the world title at WrestleMania. Big Show spitting all over the place as he usually does when he talks. Big Show grabs a chair. This is not a hardcore or no DQ match. So, Rock ducks the chair shot, though. We get a ref bump because wrestling. Show hits the choke slam, but Hebner's on the ground. Tim White runs out. Gets pulled out by Hebner. And then Vince's music hits. But it's not Vince, it's Shane. Shane is back. Hebner and Tim White end up fighting. And Shane's just kind of egging him on. He's like yelling at him, but not breaking it up. Rock hits a rock bottom. And he goes hit the people's elbow. Shane comes in, hits him in the heat with the chair. Gets Tim White into the ring. Show rolls over. And gets the 3 count. Big Show's going to WrestleMania to fight for the world title. Even commentary's confused. All right, it's time for the match where the only match that we care about on this card, to be quite honest with you. It's Cactus Jack versus Triple H and Hell in a Cell for the world title. Famous match, if you're not familiar. And Foley's last match as a full-time competitor. And we see Kurt Angle heading to his car. He's wearing both title belts and his medals. And Jericho and Chyna jump him. Chyna wearing a very fetching purple tracksuit. And they throw Angle in the trunk of his own car. All right, time for the main event. The door of the cage is locked shut by probably a dozen chains and locks. Mankind. Cactus Jack is trying to kick the door open. Stephanie just keeps screaming, "No way out." Hey, that's the name of the pay-per-view. Get it? You know, it's really funny because when you watch a Hell in a Cell nowadays, it's very blatant. I don't know if it's how they paint the cage now or whatever, but it's so obvious. You can see the foot and hand holds that they cut in the cage, so you know they can scale it. They definitely have it on this one, but it's a lot harder to see because it's not painted. It's just, you know, the normal chain link. But they're definitely there. Not long before the heat shots start. Believe it or not, Triple H gets busted open first. Fucking nasty. Triple H is on the floor. Foley gets on the second buckle with a chair under his arm and hits an elbow drop. There was not a lot of room there to hit that move, and it looked nasty. Triple H starts fucking convulsing. I'm sure it was a sell job, but still, it looked nasty. That did not look good for anybody involved. They end up busting one of the panels off the cage, so now they can get out. And like I said, if you know, you know. You've seen this before. You know where this leads. Cactus hits a pile driver to Triple H on the announce table, but it doesn't give at all. Cactus tries climbing up to the top of the cage, and Stephanie pulls him down. And Cactus gets the 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. Has a very odd handle on it. Almost looks like he bolted a horseshoe to the bottom of it. Triple H tries to escape through the crowd. And Triple H starts climbing the cage. Cactus follows. Triple H ends up getting the 2x4 with barbed wire. And is able to knock Cactus off the top of the cage. Almost the top of the cage through the announce table. Cactus tries to throw a chair up to the top of the cage. It completely misses. Almost hits a cameraman. And he tries again. Almost got it. Failed. They cut away from him. He tries again and fails. So Cactus heads up there, immediately gets hit with the 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. Another shot to the back. Triple H ends up over by the corner of the roof of the cell, and the corner gives way a little bit, almost goes through. He's definitely hamming it up. Cactus hits a DDT, and Cactus sets the 2x4 with barbed wire on fire. And he hits Triple H with it, but I mean, it's just on fire. It looks like the Olympic torch almost. and then just puts it down. Cactus sets up for a pile driver, but instead, Triple H backdrops him. Foley goes through the cage and lands in the ring. Now, this is not anywhere near what it was with Undertaker. The ring was set up with a crash pad. So when Foley hit, he sunk into the ring. So Stephanie has a maniacal look in her eyes, smiling. It's funny because at one point, Cactus is laying there and you can see him looking up like, where the fuck is this guy? Can he hurry up and get here and pin me? Triple H is taking forever to try to figure out how to get back down into the ring. We're going to have to go back and look at our greatest feuds to see if Foley and Triple H were on there. They definitely had a bunch of bangers, even back when Triple H was, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But eventually, Triple H is able to climb down into the ring using the panel that busted open. And they hinged that one, again, different from the Taker Mankind one. Best part is Triple H is just staring at Cactus Jack, who's like sunken into the mat. Starts swiping at him with his foot. Is he alive? And then Foley gets up naturally. Pedigree, Triple H wins. Hell of a match. Paramedics in the ring to check on Foley. Refuses medical attention. They're trying to get him on the backboard of the neck brace. He just kind of crawls away. And Foley's career is over. Fans are on their feet cheering for him. You get Foley chants. And that's that. End of an era. And the show goes off the air with fans cheering for Foley. That was No Way Out 2000. Let's follow it up with the Raw.
After these messages,
we'll be right back.
What's up, nigga? You wanna talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
You wanna sell that shit? Call these motherfuckers ASAP.
Yeah, I said some shit. What? Man, fuck you and your bone spurs.
The hardest niggas is standing by, ready to pick up that phone. Buff niggas, dark niggas, Asian niggas, white niggas.
Suck my dick, bitch. Fuck you.
1213-373-4253.
Just dial, nigga. I'll fuck you up.
Deaf niggas, classic niggas, racist niggas, mystery niggas, psycho niggas, dog niggas, Jewish niggas.
You got some motherfucking nerds calling me out Shabbat on some little bullshit ass nigga. Better calm that shit down and come around here and show me some fucking respect before me and my Jewish niggas come up here and beat your ass, nigga. Off top.
Niggas is talking shit. Call now.
$4.99 per minute.
And we're in New York City at MSG. Not like Nitro, who showed photos of Times Square and they were in Long Island. Show opens with Triple H and Stephanie coming out. Triple H starts cutting a promo. Fans are chanting for Foley. Triple H says he should be savoring the moment, but he just can't do it. Triple H says he's got more respect for Foley than he's ever had for anybody in his life, and Stephanie's trying to stop him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Even giving him the look, the side eye. Triple H says he had the guys in production put together a little clip show chronicling Mankind's career, Mick Foley's career. Tells Kevin Dunn, hit the package. Phrasing. Set to sad music showing all the different personas of Mick Foley. And then the sad music stops. DX music plays, and it's clips of Triple H beating the shit out of Foley. Oh, and one of Mankind scratching his ass. One of him like, what the shit? I'm not even going to try to describe this. It is pretty damn funny, though. Triple H, Hunter has herpes. There's a good sign. And as Stephanie and Triple H are laughing about it, we hear no chance in hell. But this time, It's Shane again. It's still Shane, no Vince. It's Shane with Big Show. Oh, God, do we get the Four Corners match soon? Shane starts cutting a promo on Stephanie. Shane says he's been waiting for his spot, waiting to align himself with the right individual. And then The Rock comes out, interrupts. Rock calls Stephanie the biggest tramp walking the streets of New York City. Rock says, congratulations on being in the biggest group of assholes The Rock has ever seen. Rock says he guarantees he's going to WrestleMania. Triple H pulls the AB conversation line. Outstanding. Triple H says Rock is going back to the bottom of the ladder. Triple H books Rock in a match against the Brooklyn Brawler. APA in the back playing cards. Hardys confront him about their interference in the pay-per-view last night. Hardys want a match. Hardys flip the table. And this is the first sighting of the prop door for the APA, which is fucking great. Hardys didn't even use it. They just walked around it. Come back from break. It's the Hardys versus the APA. Hardys win on a quick tag, twist of fate, and a quick 3. Angle comes to the ring. Commentary's teasing he's going to set up an open challenge. And it's for the European title. The Olympic Challenge. And it's Rikishi, who on the Chiron still says Rikishi Fatu. Angle starts backing up the ramp, and Jericho and Chyna come out. And Jericho gets Angle back in the ring, allows Rikishi to hit his driver, drags Angle to the corner for the bonsai drop, and then the Radicals run in and beat the shit out of Rikishi. Malenko starts attacking Chyna. And Too Cool make the save. And Dance Party. I want Chyna and Jericho to join them. They get their own set of glasses. Still better than most of the stuff Jericho's doing these days. Cole's with Jericho and Chyna. Jericho calls him Mitchell. And the Radicals come in being held back by his referees. Saturn gets right in Jericho's face. Edge and Christian head to the ring. And then Terry ends up going down there. She's got what looks to be like a garment bag from a dry cleaner. She joins commentary. Al Snow comes out, says he's got a surprise for Blackman. They got a new video package on the Tron with some weird TV sitcom from the 70s music. It was supposed to be like The Odd Couple. Edge and Christian end up winning, and Terry just scampers off with the head cheese prop. And then it's The Rock versus the Brooklyn Brawler. And The Rock wins in like 2 minutes. Rock calls out Triple H post-match. Rock wants Triple H tonight, not for a title match, not for a number one contenders match, just to beat the shit out of Triple H. And Triple H comes storming off. Stephanie's trying to hold him back. And then Shane comes out. Shane says Rock's going to go Triple H in there for ended up making it a title match tonight. Rock says if it's going to be Triple H versus Big Show at WrestleMania, then WrestleMania is going to suck. I mean, Shane, Big Show, Triple H, and Stephanie have a little powwow. Stephanie says, Rock, you got one last chance. If you can pin Triple H or Big Show tonight in that ring in a handicap match, then you can have your number one contendership. Shane not very happy about that. Chyna and Jericho out. It's going to be Jericho versus Saturn. Malenko out again to attack Chyna. And Jericho ends up getting the win. Hooray. Next slide. DX in the locker room arguing. Road Dogg and Mr. Ass because Mr. Ass isn't ready. So X-Pac has to take his place. Triple H stops him. Say Edge and Christian are number one contenders right now. But DX is going to get their shot at tag titles tonight. Triple H tells Mr. Ass that X-Pac is going to take his place. Oh shit, and they just jump Mr. Ass. And they toss him out of the locker room. Next, it's Mark Henry versus Crash Holly, who is apparently hardcore champion. And this match is for the hardcore title. And May hits a splash on Crash and starts selling her stomach because, you know, she's pregnant. And they call for the medics. Maybe this is the week. Oh, just like last week, we get the medics. You get Moolah. Everybody's concerned. They get her on a stretcher. They wheel her to the back. Next, it's Taz versus Chris Benoit. Eddie tries to interfere by getting on the apron. Tim White just shoves him right off the apron, kicks him out, sends him to the back. Guerrero acts like he's kicking dirt on him like they're on a baseball field. And then Albert and Boss Man run in and start attacking Taz. And Benoit's just, all right, I'll leave. They've got Mae Young on the bed. And it looks like she's going to give birth. Mae says she doesn't want to have this baby till she has a cigar. So Briscoe runs to get her a cigar. The paramedic asked Mae, when was the last time you had your period? Even Mae chuckles. She's like, 1957. Paramedic pulls Mark Henry aside and, are you sure you impregnated her? Patterson just starts looking up. He calls Briscoe over. You got to look at this. Briscoe starts dry heaving. Back from break, and they're still going at it here. Mae rips ass. What the fuck, dude? Paramedic says, I can't get it. Patterson gives him a pair of like vice pliers. We get complete sound effects. Henry is helping pull the paramedic while he's got the vice grips. And out comes a gooey hand. Ew. Briscoe is puking. And Patterson, hey, give me a hand. And the paramedic tosses it over to Briscoe. And that's it. Sweet baby Jesus. Dudley's versus Road Dogg and X-Pac for the tag titles. Tori's in a neck brace from getting tombstoned by Kane. Kane's music hits. He comes out. Choke slams Road Dogg. Choke slam to Devon. And that's that. Next we see Shane, Stephanie, Big Show, and Triple H commiserating. Then we get an actual tribute package to Mick Foley. And we go to the main event. It's Big Show and Triple H versus Rock in a handicap match. If Rock gets the pin in the ring, he gets his number one contender shot and title shot at WrestleMania. Pay close attention to the words Stephanie said earlier. Because not remembering how this match ends up, I'm guessing he wins like on a weird submission and it doesn't count. Shane gets up on the apron. Rock takes him out. Rock's able to hit a rock bottom on Triple H. Sets up for the People's Elbow. Hits the People's Elbow. And Shane breaks up the pin. And it's a DQ. Shane hits a low blow on Rock, then a lariat. And the beatdown commences. Crowd's chanting for Foley. Big Show hits chokeslam on Rock. And that's it. Good night, folks. Next up, Nitro.
After these messages,
we'll be right back. This portion of the podcast is brought to you by the Professor's Throat Lozenges. Have a busy Saturday night plan, but your throat is all scratchy? No worries. With the Professor's Throat Lozenges, you can continue to line them up like circus seals until the clock strikes midnight. And the Professor's Throat Lozenges are conveniently shaped to prepare you for the night ahead. Now in Mandingo size. Hashtag, for some reason, is a sponsor. We got a shot of Sid arriving to the arena earlier in the day. That was preceded by a package of stuff that happened on Thunder, I guess, hyping up what's coming up. Tank Abbott shows up on a motorcycle as well. He's not going to be lasting long after his stunt with the knife. Tanae's with Jarrett, the ladies, and the Harris boys. Tank Abbott's facing Sid tonight for the title. Calls Tanae slap nuts. And they're in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Or as Shivani called it, the land of Jesse the Body Ventura. Oh, Bafungul, the Mamalukes are out first. With Disco Dick Nuts. They're still the tag champs. Lane and Idol are backstage with Miss Hancock. They run her down, and Miss Hancock says, I think it's time for me to teach them a lesson. Probably going to involve her taking her clothes off. So it's Lane and Idol against the Mamalukes for the tag titles. Miss Hancock comes to the ring. She joins commentary. That boy, a.k.a. Mark Madden's trying to kick it to her. And the music hits again, and she gets back up on the announce desk, lets down her hair, starts shaking her hips. One of the Mamalukes and Lane are on the floor. They start pulling out money like she's a stripper. Nick Patrick is even distracted. He's not paying attention. And the Mamalukes retain. And the Mamalukes call Miss Hancock in the ring and say, hit her music, come dance with us. Holy hell. And the Harris boys come in and wreck the shop, beat the shit out of the Mamalukes. And then disco. One of the Harris boys gets on the mic, starts cutting a promo, gets cut off by the NWO music. We see Kidman's camcorder, and it's Buff Bagwell trying to kick it to Liz. You should ditch the loser Luger. Kick it with a real man. Liz is like, oh, Buff? Luger? Buff? And completely runs him down. She's like, I don't think so. Walks off. And Flair and Luger are watching it from the locker room with Liz. Luger has a Sabres jersey on and a hat. Pretty cool. It's the goat head one, if you're not familiar, the black and red one. We cut to the Buckeye Cafe. Ricky Rackman's back. He's got the Nitro Girls with him. Spring Breakout 2000. We get a promo from Hogan. It looks like he needs to take a shit really bad. His hand is still in a cast. The sound is terrible. You can barely hear him. Apparently setting up a Indian strap match against Flair. And Gene's in the ring, announces Flair. Flair comes out with Luger and Liz. Flair has Hulkster's weight belt, and Luger has the Sting/Hulkster chair. Liz has the baseball bat. Flair's in the middle of a promo, and he just looks, he goes, I know which camera to look at, you idiot. He points to Luger and says, 4% body fat. Yeah, nowadays he has 4% bone density. Calls out Buff for trying to hit on Liz. Luger starts running down Minnesota. Kurt Hennig comes out. I remember Hennig and Gene, both from Minnesota, AWA territory. Hennig tells Luger to get rid of the Kurt Hennig haircut. It looks terrible on him. Hennig says Flair's not got a match tonight, so... And then Hennig tells Flair to show everybody his puppies. Hennig says if he can't beat Flair tonight, he'll streak down Hennepin Avenue buck-ass naked next Monday. Okay. Booker's with Tenay. Apparently he had a tag match with Kidman against the Harris boys, and Kidman kind of just powdered, so Booker got his ass beat. Shivani takes a phone call in the middle of the broadcast. The phone call was to tell him that Sting is going to be there, because, of course they couldn't just tell him over the fucking headset. Gene's backstage with Jarrett. Booker has new music, and he's facing Kidman, who's with Tori. Tori causes a distraction. Harris boys run in, wreck the shop again. Rinse and repeat. But in the melee, Tori ends up getting hurt. I think she gets knocked off the apron, hurts her foot. Lil Nate checks on her. Gene's backstage with the new Harlem Heat. You got random video of the guy with the biggest biceps in the world. He met Arnold. His arms look ridiculous. 28-inch pythons. Gene's with Norman Smiley. He's got a Vikings jersey on. Smiley says he is stepping in to defend the honor of Terry Funk. He's going to be facing Dustin Rhodes tonight. Next, you get Brian Knobbs coming to the ring. Looks like he's defending his hardcore title against one of the guys from 3 Count. Courageous says, why don't you put up the title against all 3 of us? And that's what we get. Next slide. And 3 Count collectively wins the hardcore title. Knobbs chases him to the back. We see Vampiro doing his mix of Sting and Raven. He's like kneeling on an iron girder somewhere with like green mist. Cutting a very slow, spooky promo. Gene's with Brian Knobbs and Fit Finlay. Knobbs is cutting a promo on losing the hardcore title. I wonder how much investment they had in Plaster at this time, because everybody's got a cast on. Finlay says they're going to take on 3 Count on Thunder in a 6-man tag. Norman Smiley versus Dustin Rhodes. Dustin comes out, he's wearing the jacket from the 7 character. Apparently they've given him the name American Dream 2000. And Dustin wins. Dillinger has a cast too now. Next, it's Jeff Jarrett versus Vampiro. Harris boys try to interfere. Vampiro's able to hold them off long enough for Sid to show up and get them out of the way. During all the commotion, Jarrett's able to use the title to knock out Vampiro and get the 3 count. Hooray. And actually, no, I lied. He kicked out at 2. The bell rang, though. So that was fun. Because WCW in the year 2000. And Vampiro ends up losing. For real this time. Mama Luke sees some random production agent say, you want to make $20? Deliver this to the Harris boys. Tell them it's from the Paisans. Looks like a flower box. And Daphne gets in the ring. She doesn't seem too happy that David's flirting with the Nitro Girls. Daphne's got the crowbar. And David goes over and starts kissing Daphne's feet. And it's the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea against David, apparently. Crowbar joins commentary. And Crowbar interferes during Prince Iaukea's top rope move. And Daphne and Paisley start getting into it. Crowbar's egging them on. Daphne just starts choking Paisley. Iaukea hits a jumping DDT to retain. And Crowbar carries Daphne off. Sid Vicious is being tended to by medics. He's got a fucking oxygen mask on. Apparently got hit by a car. PA has the box for the Harris boys, gives it to him. There's a note on the box that says, you got your shot, watch your back. Let me guess, it's a fish. Of course it's a fucking fish. Jesus. Jarrett says, it's been a good night, has it? Gene says, based on what happened to Sid, the doctors had said he's to refrain from any strenuous activities. And then Sid just walks in. He's perfectly fine. Then he starts losing his balance. It says he'll see Tank Abbott in hell. So that still doesn't really make it clear if he's going to wrestle tonight or not. Maybe it was a guitar shot, not a car shot. Maybe I misheard it. I don't know. Something happened to Sid, though. Cat comes out, and he's facing the maestro. Symphony brought a boombox with her. She starts playing classical music. Then 3 counts music starts playing for reasons. And the maestro uses the boombox as a weapon and gets the 3 count. Hooray. Next slide. Liz and Luger are back in the locker room preparing for their match, or his match, and they can't find the baseball bat, and Luger's freaking out. We got to find the bat. Oh, God. Next, you got Ric Flair versus Kurt Hennig. Flair's so old he wrestled Kurt Hennig's dad. We got a ref bump followed by a ref bump. It was a double bump. Hennig hits a Hennigplex. Luger comes out, starts kicking him. Just kicks him a couple times, and then leaves. Hennig gets a chair. Nick Patrick takes it. In that distraction, Flair hits a low blow and gets a pin. That, talk about, as Cornette would say, that finish was flatter than a plate full of piss. Flair has Hogan's weight belt, starts whipping Hennig with it. All throughout the show, they've been interviewing different talent, asking who's going to win, Sid or Tank Abbott. And Haku is getting interviewed about it. He's just got a flannel shirt on, just being serious. That's probably the best part of the show. Next, you get Luger versus Bagwell. Next slide. Flair shows up. Bagwell starts giving it to him. Able to cut him off. Able to keep them both at bay. Liz gets a chair on the apron. Buff puts his foot on it, though, but that allows Flair to hit a chop block. The ref finally sees that. It's a DQ. Hooray. They set up to Pillmanize Buff. But Sting starts crawling out from under the ring. Bonks Luger in the head from behind with the baseball bat. Just enough to get his attention. Hits a gut shot. Shot to the knee. And a shot to, like, I don't know, the face. Shoulder. Not hard enough, though, because Luger was able to powder and walk off on his own accord. And thank God we're at the main event. It's Tank Abbott versus Sid for the world title. Abbott goes to ring on his motorcycle. I don't see a knife, but I'm sure there's one somewhere. And as I usually like to do, I like to see how much time is left by the time the match starts. And once they're both in ring and the bell rings, we are at about 5 minutes. Abbott starts off in dominant fashion. A lot of chokes, a lot of holds. There's a sign in the crowd that says, nice beer gut, Tank. Sid ends up getting a crossface on Abbott and wins. And that was Nitro. Thank God that was over. This is getting harder and harder to get through each week, but we do it for you. Actually, no, I do it for myself because this is my pet project. But anyway, speaking of me and the Professor's broken throat, let's move on to the top topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for...
Best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. Hold 2, arm bar.
Sodas rule.
Yeah, they do. Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family granunzel. It's me, Austin.
Just when they think they ain't got the answers, I change the questions.
I did it for The Rock.
This week's top topic.
You know something mean, Gene? John Cena. Wrestling's not fake. The Rolex wearing what? Diamond ring wearing what? Kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing what? Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
If you smell.
The following ranking order and final decisions are a completely bias-based order, based off The Professor and ODM Made It. And as always, they like to let you know they have not worked in the business, but have been lifelong invested fans much like you, our listeners. With not only their opinions involved, but with countless amount of hours of research done each week, they make sure to provide proper facts and history to back it up. However, they do know that your opinion may vary from theirs. If there is anything you want to chat about, bring to their attention. If there is something they missed or forgot, or you just want to let them know they are out of their freaking minds, feel free to shoot them a message on Facebook or Twitter, or email them at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com. As always, they do appreciate all feedback and continued support. At the end of the day, they want to make sure that you do see the best of the best before you die. And now, this week's top topic.
Today's top topic is a little bit different, because, I guess this will put music, technically 2 weeks in a row, in a way. But that's cool. I like that. By the way, excellent job. You gave me a very big insight into the Roots, and I actually want to start listening to some of their stuff. I never really went too deep into it, but now you made me a fan last week. Quite the editor of some good songs there. I like that. Maybe you'll do the same with this week, because you guys, if you ever wonder, we always make the joke about ODM being older than me. This motherfucker was at the very first Woodstock, and to me, that's just fucking... Oh, I'm sorry. No. It wasn't 94, the really good one, right? With Aerosmith.
Freedom!
Richie Haven, man. Those long-ass fucking fingernails. Didn't even need a pick. Could do coke and play the guitar at the same time.
Nails.
No problem. Yeah. That was the freedom he was talking about. Mother! Anyway, I still am a big fan of Country Joe. That's one of my favorites. But, no, we're talking about Woodstock 99. We're talking about the craziest party for fucking alternative rock and angry white boys, basically, because from what we've all seen, y'all burn the bitch to the ground. Let's see how much ODM was involved. Please tell us. First, Woodstock 99. So, did you get to see Kid Rock?
I was in the vicinity.
It was present. I am curious to some of the bands you listen to and stuff like that. So please give me Woodstock 99. By the way, The Miz was there. I did see a logo or a picture of that just not too long ago.
Oh,
a picture of him going,
shit.
Woodstock 99, baby. And once I saw it was on the thing, I go, oh, now this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, he looks like he fit right in.
He looked like he... The Miz started the fire. Sorry.
Yeah, so this story is gonna actually go back before we even got to Woodstock, because I feel like I gotta lay some framework. First thing I want to let you know is I actually still have my I don't know how well you're gonna see this with the blurred background here. I'll turn off the blurred background real quick. Kayfabe, pal.
Yeah.
Just so we can let's see here. How about
I saw pot leaves. I'm pretty sure I saw pot leaves. Was it a shirt?
Yeah, there you go. So this vendor booth right next to us was giving out these pot necklaces, but here's my vendor pass.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this on while we do this.
Oh, wow.
Just for posterity's sake here. Okay. So to give you a little bit of backstory, when I graduated high school, I went to the University of Pittsburgh for 2 years. Didn't apply myself much, but I did well when I did. Right. It unfortunately wasn't enough. One of the things I did find out about myself was, I went to school for computer science. That's what I was going to Pitt for. But I found out that I actually was a really good writer. I never knew I had that in me. I was just writing these wonderful papers and just doing good. I got a lot of, positive feedback from my professors and my TAs. But, end of the day, like I said, I didn't put the work in, and it wasn't worth spending the money to go to Pitt when I was just going to party my ass off. So I came back home, went to MCC. And while I was there, I started embracing the writing thing. I actually wrote for the MCC newspaper. Not that that's a big deal or anything. I'm just saying I was embracing it. And I took a journalism class. And when I took this journalism class, I met this guy named Buddha. If you're wondering if he was Asian, no, he was just really fat. So his claim to fame was him, his dad, and one of his buddies got busted in some major drug ring years before in some rural hick town outside of Rochester. Mount Morris, I have no fucking clue. Just pick one. Doesn't matter. he kept like pushing this harebrained idea he had. He wanted to, like, he was a very big, pro pot, pro hemp advocate. And he wanted to put together a concert in Canada. And the idea would be is they get all these big name bands, and when you got a ticket, you got this free shirt, and it had all the shit from the concert on it, and it was made out of 100% hemp. But the tag would say cotton. And the idea would be is that everybody would bring these shirts home to America. You would clip the tag, flip it open, and it would say it was actually hemp. And it would be like the biggest import of illegal drugs getting muled into the U.S. Okay, a little too clever for his own good on that one, but fine.
Did someone do some meth on the side?
Yeah, I don't know. Meth. I've never seen a meth head that fucking fat. So, he actually had some contacts. He had a buddy. He knew some people that had a tie-dye T-shirt company in Florida. And his buddy here in Rochester actually was making tie-dye shirts. I actually did some side work for him. The company in Florida was called I-Dye. I know because that's the sticker on the back of my pass right here. That's the only reason I remember it. So here's the fucked up thing. Before we even got to Woodstock 99, he knew that, I was doing well at writing and all that, and somehow he got in touch with a hemp farmer in Quebec. We ended up going up there for a night. Had dinner with the dude, kind of interviewed him, and the next morning we were with them as they started planning the next crop. I rode in the bed of a pickup truck sitting on, I don't know, 30 to 50-pound bags of hemp seeds because they were going out to plant the crop.
That'd have been like Thurgood Jenkins just putting some in my pocket, just a little bit.
Yeah, it was just the seeds, and they were hemp seeds, so it wasn't going to help me out very much. But here's the fucked up thing. I ended up writing an article about this. And again, somehow, this fucking fat, good-for-nothing motherfucker had connections, and we went to Soho in New York City to the Hemp Times offices. Hemp Times, you're wondering, I've heard of High Times. I've never heard of Hemp Times. Hemp Times wasn't around very long. I think they came out in 97. I think they folded by the end of 2000. And they only released quarterly. I sold that article for $400 to Hemp Times. I think I still have a copy of the check somewhere. The problem is I never saw it published. And if you try to fucking look Hemp Times up online, you're not finding anything. There's no digital archive. I'd have to basically figure out when I sold it and buy every magazine after that to see if my article even got published.
So we have to take this story at your word.
Sure, we'll go with that. I just, again, a preface of how I got in the door to Woodstock, and the fact that this is a part of my life I often forget about, that I actually went to a fucking hemp farm in Quebec, wrote an article, and sold it. Sure. So, on top of that, he was able to get me into the door at Woodstock 99, which started, and actually I gotta look at this fucking thing, the concert started July 23rd. That's 3 days after my birthday. And it just didn't happen to be 3 days after my birthday. It happened to be 3 days after my 21st birthday.
Oh, sweet.
So, these guys, I-Dye from Florida, they were going to Woodstock to just, to sell off a bunch of their overstock, but also to party. And they split a booth with some hippy-dippy hemp company. That's where I got this pot necklace from. And the thing is, we went up. We headed up there on my birthday, but first I met a buddy at California Brew House who bought me my first beer, my first legal beer, I should say. So we headed out and we stopped at Turning Stone. We were going to spend the night there. It was some of the vendors from I-Dye and some of the vendors from that hemp company that we were sharing the booth with. And I think there were 6 of us in a room. Pretty sure I slept on the floor. I grabbed a bottle of vodka to bring with me, just to have while I was at Woodstock. And we got in, so that was the 20th, the 21st we got there? Yeah, so we got there the 21st concert. The gates didn't open until the 23rd. And it's, dude, the one guy from I-Dye reminded me of fucking Terry Silver. Both in appearance and attitude. This dude was fucking awesome.
You really need to watch Cobra Kai.
I know. And it's funny because we're heading into the venue, and like I said, we're there 2 days early, and we're walking in, and he just went on a rant about Dave Matthews Band, and I still use one of his lines. I've probably said it on this podcast, and that's where I got it from. He's like, "Don't drink the water. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'll drink the water when I want to. Shut the fuck up." He just went on this rant. It was fucking great. I love it. The day before the gates opened to the public, George Clinton played a show for all the vendors that were there already. Private show inside an airport hangar. His birthday's 2 days after mine. And I think it's the same hangar, I think, where the Fatboy Slim incident happened in. I don't know if you remember the Fatboy Slim incident.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's that same hangar that I was in. So that was cool. I remember Clinton, he had the big robe on. And if you ever seen George Clinton's the draw, but everybody else does the work. The band and
the band is the funk.
And and there's this giant catwalk, and he had the robe on and everything, and he just walks out on the catwalk while the band's playing. He's not even singing, and he reaches in his pocket and he just pulls out this giant glass bubbler, and he just starts taking rips. It's fucking great. So that was awesome. So I brought a tent because it's a fucking 3-day show.
Sure.
So I need somewhere to sleep, so I brought a tent. And so our vendor tent was the closest fixed point to the main stage, pretty much, minus any parts that were part of the main stage. The vendor tents, usually you go to an event like this or a festival, the vendor tents, it's kind of like a rectangular area, right? You got vendor tents on both sides. This one came to a point, like a V, and that's where my tent was. The one night, I was sitting in my tent with some chicken nuggets, and Metallica was playing on the main stage. So I'm sitting in my tent ripping a bowl, listening to Metallica play live. It was like I had a boombox with Metallica.
I'm like 80 to 90% sure when we talk about 80s bands or metal or hair or some shit like that, you brought that part of the story
bands.
up. I think, yes.
I probably did.
I remember the story. Yep. Okay.
Yep. It was crazy. And the best part was there was a state trooper right outside of my tent.
Nice.
Right across from our vendor area / where my tent was the Free Tibet movement. So okay. I'm talking like Tibetan monks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of the nights I left my sneakers outside of my tent because I didn't want my smelly ass sneakers that I've been walking around in all day in my tent with me. Somebody saw them and said they like them. They apparently were a size 10.
I'm a 12, but fuck, I'm going to curl my toes in. Those are nice.
They were nice, too, man. They were Converse, and they weren't Chucks. They were almost like Jordan-looking fucking shoes. They were dope.
Only shoes for the
good
weekend?
While it lasted. I had flip-flops with me, so I got by.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of grimy walking around in those fucking things. But so anyway, I didn't just get a free pass. I got this vendor pass to work for iDie, selling their $5 T-shirts, right? And I just sat in a lawn chair that I brought. And I didn't even try to sell these people on them. I just sat there. They're like, I got 5 shirts. I'm like $25, and I give them change. All right. I got to see whatever bands I wanted. All my food and water was paid for. Pretty fucking sweet gig when you think about it, especially when you hear about the $8 bottles of water. I didn't pay for fucking water. I didn't pay for it. And on top of that, the guys running this thing, like I said, they were there to sell their overstock, but they were there to have a good time because they would just yell at all the chicks and be like, hey, show us your tits and you get a free T-shirt. Saw quite the spectrum of milkers over those few days, I tell you what. And the monks loved it.
Wasn't what I was waiting to have for a follow-up of what you were going to say.
Opening night. Famously, I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure if you're familiar with Woodstock 99, you've seen it. It was on the documentary Korn.
Yep.
Korn plays. The back of the crowd was a stone's throw away from where my tent was. So I actually went to the back of the crowd because I wanted to see Korn play. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. It was a sea of people undulating with the rhythm of the music. I still get shivers when I go back and watch that video. They open with Blind, they play, and and he stops and he lets the crowd sing it, and the crowd is so fucking loud. It's like the crowd was almost as loud as Jonathan Davis was on stage with a microphone.
I remember
It was
watching
insane.
the video
And again,
of it.
just that video of the undulating of people, I've never, ever, and I've been to a shit ton of concerts, I've never seen anything like that in my life. It was absolutely insane. Going back to Buddha's fat ass, he was supposed to be there too, working, right? This ain't no free ride, brother. So, and and like I said, I worked and I got paid, not just with food and water money. I got actually paid. And they lit Buddha's fat ass up for not showing up. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I don't even know this kid, and he's fucking working his ass off. Where's your fat ass been? The one time I actually saw him there, he pulled a that boy.
Oh, yeah?
I fucking walk up. Somehow, he squeezed his fat ass into my beach chair. Now, here's the thing. I'm not talking about them old school, like, woven seat ones, like a lawn chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cheap ones that fold up. I'm talking like a low-sitting, low to the fucking ground. This is for the beach.
Beach.
Right? This motherfucker... The force
made
was
it a
so
beach
much,
towel.
The arms of the chair bent upwards. They bowed up and cracked the plastic fucking armrests on it.
Yo, you're down shoes and a chair.
And a chair. That's my mama's chair.
It's like, oh, fuck it. Breaking the vase and juice. Man, my mama's going to kill me for this shit. That's my mama's chair.
Yep. Needless to say, that chair stayed there.
Yeah.
They had a Hendrix exhibit. That was cool. I fucking went and checked that out. And the best thing was, there was 2 Soul Brothers there, asked me to take a picture for them. And when I say Soul Brothers, I'm not trying to be like, cute about it. They were dressed like they were straight out of the 70s.
Nice.
Like velvet suit and fucking the hat and everything. And I sat there and I shot the shit with them for a good 15
Soul Brother
minutes
number
or so.
one.
Soul Brother. At some point, one of Buddha's boys, it might have been one of the dudes that he got busted, as part of that drug bust back in the day, found us. And he had some chicken nuggets. Silver Haze is what it was called. Honestly, I think that's the only thing I paid for as part of this trip, was that. And so we just sat in the middle of a field and just enjoyed, just watching the chaos around us. About 100 feet away, I see this dude just sprawled out on the ground. Just sprawling. I remember just sitting there, just puffing on this thing. I'm like, wonder if that guy's dead.
But if I go over and look, I might be an accomplice.
So I'm just watching. All of a sudden, he just gets up, brushes the grass off of him, kind of does the Travolta from Pulp Fiction where he kind of just looks around and just walks off. Motherfucker rose from the dead.
Was he face down?
I think face down, but like head cocked to the side, so not like his face was buried in the grass,
Either he was taking a nap or he dug a hole in the ground and fucked it.
Ew. I mean, it was, there's a lot of stories. Who knows? All right, so last day of the concert, Buddha wants to bounce. I wanted to stay and see Red Hot Chili Peppers play. But he drove, and considering everything I experienced for free, I'm like, fine, let's go. I'm not sure how this next part worked. I got a hold of Whiskey Man. I think back in that day, so this was 99, I think we had those, they were still chunky cell phones where the mouthpiece was like one solid piece that would flip down. No text messages, no LCD screen, right? If anything, just enough to see the number, right? Old school cell phones. Prepaid, right? So, get home. Whiskey Man meets up with me, takes me to Dewey Ave Smoke Shop, and bought me a chicken nugget bowl for my birthday. Cool. Get back home, loaded up with Silver Haze that I brought back home. My brother's there, and Wheezy was there. And we're watching Woodstock burn to the ground.
Oh, so you watch it from there. All right.
Don't tell me I was there. I wasn't there. I left at the right time, apparently. The best part is Wheezy had his license at this point, right? But I don't think he was 18 yet, so he couldn't drive past 9. So we light up the nuggies, and Wheezy was a lot rougher around the collar back then, and he's just talking shit. This weed sucks. This is terrible. You got fucking ripped off. Why'd you even buy it?
You say was rough. I mean,
oh yeah, you should have seen him back then.
That's Wheezy.
He's getting better.
He's
a lot
getting
better.
He's getting older.
That too. 10, 15 minutes later, he's like, I gotta drive home. He tells me, and he walks in, he's living with his dad. He walks through the front door. He immediately just goes right up the stairs to his room. His dad's like, you all right? Yeah! He just fucking kept walking right to his room.
It's funny because I actually, when you're like, so I brought the Silver Haze home, and I had everybody come over. We smoked. I swear to God, I was waiting for you to be like, angel dust. Motherfucking angel dust somehow.
Hey, you never know. Again, it was a sketchy situation. But, yeah, that's a very, there's a lot more that happened then, but I don't remember a lot of it. So, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking by it.
See, I've only done one festival, and we got VIP passes. I was like 33. It was that one in Kentucky. Ben Harper, Avett Brothers, Alabama Shakes, Group Love. Some good shit. But we were older. We had VIP passes that had air-conditioned bathroom, and we stayed in a hotel that was an Airbnb drive away. We're so fucking awesome at this thing, man. I mean, like, I had a nice cold shower every night. I ate at the continental breakfast downstairs in the morning, got carved up. All right, let's go.
Did you ever get your shoes stolen at a concert? Huh?
Oh, God. Good shit, man. I like that. It's funny because you always hear they're going to bring Woodstock back, man, every year. And then, like, the 50th anniversary happened or whatever, and everybody's like, it's this one. It's not happening, man. It's not going to happen. It's done.
No. Different mindset, man. Different times. Yeah. It ain't the same anymore.
Go see one band right now, and it costs you, like, 3 weeks' worth of a fucking paycheck. You want to put many, many bands together? It's never going to happen like that ever again, man.
Many.
And I will say, and going back to the original with Woodstock 69, I'll give this to Marty. He introduced me to, because I was like real into Woodstock 69. I was like, I'm really catching into it, really getting into it. He's like, you want to catch this one? He's like, this is a good one. Monterey Pop. He's like, that was the better one. He's like, that's the original. I didn't watch so much of it, and I was like, oh shit, this was a way better fucking show. And Otis was there.
Yeah,
man.
Otis was there.
Yeah, that's the better show. Good shit, man. I like that. And I got to be honest with you, what I like the most, back at the podcast. We're back, baby, and we're back next week, as always. And next week we'll get into another discussion of a band or something like that, or music or movie or TV. We'll call it the media week, whatever. Anyway, but the biggest thing we're going to be talking about, the fallout of Elimination Chamber. Let's really hope Punk wins. And I know Owens and Zayn are definitely going to deliver. So it should be a pretty good show on Saturday night. We'll be back next week. I am the Professor. Let's see, it's been a minute. What do I do? I bid you a farewell. That's what I do. And I pass it over to the guy who's been honestly steering the ship. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts. You fucking killed it, man. Honestly, great shows over the last couple of weeks. Made me laugh. The editing was fucking fantastic. Some of the jokes, hearing shit in the background when you're like, hey, it's my third week. Trick. Hey, thanks. I was like, God damn, this guy's really fucking getting into it. But edit 52 weeks a year and tell me how much you want to keep adding little sounds every now and then. You're like, it's fine. Fuck it. Hey, there's a 20-minute silence this week, right? It's fine. People can fast forward. Tell them to fuck themselves. I don't care. No, but anyway, man, what are your thoughts of the week?
Thanks, Professor. I really got nothing. I'll say kayfabe, pal. I apologize now for the voice. My voice, the levels are probably going up and down. I got this awesome new computer. We haven't had one glitching moment on the video call. Everything is fucking running tits out. Except for that I forgot Google Chrome takes over your microphone and any other application on a video call, so I've got to fix that after I edit the show so Mr. Broken Throat can go to the doctor. See you next week, folks. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM The Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
And clap in 3, 2, 1.
There it is.
I didn't even hear your clap.
No? Yeah, it looks pretty weak on the track. But it's there.
Should we do it again, or?
Nah.
Okay.
I'll see it.
It's there.
He kept grabbing my pecker in the locker room.
I don't like him. He always grab my pecker. Do you think you might want to take a little bit of PTO and go to Beers of the World and sing Hulk Hogan, we coming for you?
Coming for you. I'm on the fence. I kind of want to do it because you've always joked about how you'll be like, oh, fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Oh, my God, it's Uncle Dave. So I feel like that's what's going to happen to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Between you and Warrior at WrestleMania 6, oh, my God. It's true, though, man. Between Meltzer. Well, hey, God, Meltzer, I was ripped out of my gourd.
Uncle Dave, I almost shot Uncle Dave.
No. No. It's your Uncle Dave. Oh, my God. I almost shot Uncle Dave. But the Bill Goldberg one was my biggest. I was like,
that's what it was.
Him.
That's
fuck
what it was.
That motherfucker. I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Goldberg, could I please get a photo with you? Boy, I sure would like to see you wrestle again. Not close, but still.
There you go.